All right, so what's going on, family? Today we're going to talk about DraftKings and how at least one Wall Street analyst is saying that this stock has 17% upside. Yeah, they didn't round it off. They didn't say 20%. They didn't say 10%. They didn't say 15%. They said 17% upside. Is that accurate? Do you think DraftKings still has room to run up? Let's see. Now, this was produced on March the 8th. Here it is the 15th. So hopefully we've seen some of that 17% upside already happen. Do you think so? Maybe not. When we look at the chart, we'll take a look and see if that happened. Now, according to this article from Bar Chart, they're trying to tell us that now may be a great time to come in and place a monster bet on next generation sports wagering stock DraftKings. Now, that was back in March the 8th. Here's the chart. Let's put this on the daily time frame. March the 8th was right here. Okay, so if you saw that article and read that article on March the 8th, you really haven't seen any gains and or loss. Okay. At least that's the view of one analyst team that recently upgraded its recommendation on the company while cranking the price target notably higher. DraftKings has a growing fan base of believers, and these prognosticators are now clearly among them. DraftKings has gone from hold to buy. The leading pundit making the changes was Barclays equity research analyst Brandt Montour. In mid-February, Montour and his team changed their recommendation on DraftKings to overweight. Buy, in other words, from the previous stance of equal weight, which means hold. Brandt also puts his price target up by almost 22%. It now stands at $50 per share. Prior, his price target was $41. That represents a 17% upside over the next 12 to 18 months from the current price. Cool. So we got one guy, one dude, saying that DraftKings has the ability to run at 17%. Now, do you run out like this article is trying to insinuate to go out and buy DraftKings off of what one person thinks? I hope you don't do that. No, that's not how we roll here. We make sure we get the overall market's idea to see if there's any legitimacy to what Brandt thinks. So he's the only one that we know thus far. Of course, there may be other analysts that has increased their price targets, that has a buy rating on DraftKings. I get it. But what does the market say? That's what we're going to do today on this video. We're going to try to see if Brandt is right. He has a $50 price target on Dkng, DraftKings. Is he right? Is the market feeling the same way? We need to try to answer that question, because if so, then like we always do on this channel, we're going to drop a price prediction like we did here in DraftKings on like ending of January. We anticipated higher prices in DraftKings. It did that. You guys can see that the market hit our ultimate TP price right here on the 16th of February. 17.43% right there. Simple. Now, it's not a coincidence that we've seen DraftKings hit this sell zone. The moment that it hit this sell zone, what did the price do? Yeah, it went down. So how did we know to place a sell zone right here? We got this massive chart, all of these numbers here on this chart. How do we know to put a sell zone right there? Like I told you, that's the reason why we look at the market overall. We don't look at just what one person thinks, because that one person can't move price. It takes a overall market to move price. Okay. So now, what do you think about DraftKings? $50 price target. Okay, let's get rid of this price prediction here. we can get rid of this sell zone here, and we could get rid of this sell zone. Okay, this is the current problem in DraftKings right there, this sell zone there. Now his target is at 50. Is that just a coincidence that we already have a sell zone there? Is that just a coincidence? How do we already know that that would be a location that we will see increased selling pressure? Because history is a good decider as to what you can expect in stocks. That's why. So zooming out, let me take you all over here, because the last time DraftKings came to around $50 or so, what happened? The price completely crashed. It was consolidating for a couple of days, right? And then eventually it completely fell off. So that tells you that this area is where there was mostly selling going on. It's not rocket science. So we have an area that we can actually play towards and say, okay, cool. This will be the location that we will be looking for increased selling. That's it. So we got these two areas here. It may even be one right here as a sell zone. So now, here it is on the 2. Currently, we can see weakness hitting the market in DraftKings on these first sell zone. These two 2-day bars, this one and then this one, tells us that there's still sellers here in the market. The market is not ready to break out yet in DraftKings, at least break above that sell zone. Here it is on the 3. You can see how weakness is increasing. These price bars, they're not closing on the high of the bars, they're closing well off the highs towards the low. All of that is indicative of selling hitting the market. Here it is on the 5. You're still seeing the indications of weakness being created. We want to see strength. So currently, the buyers are trying to hold the market, but we still need to see that continuation. I want to see these bars really close on these highs, and I'm not necessarily seeing that yet. Okay, I don't see that yet. So another thing you could kind of tell that the buyers are here buying is that the market currently is trying to make higher lows. So again, the buyers are here. They're trying to support price. They're not trying to let it fall too far away from this sell zone. But what do you think? Will they be successful? I think so, but I want us to wait, because I want to see if the selling is really finished. So we're going to create a buy zone. Okay, we don't want to see the market in DraftKings fall below this area. So we got a consolidational range right now. And the good part is that price isn't making lower lows and it's not making lower highs. It's kind of just staying stagnant. It's trading within a range. So I do think they're going to try to break that sell zone to the upside, but it may not happen because this market is still getting hit with sellers. So let's just do this then. Okay, so as long as the price in DraftKings lives to be above $38.70, I would say, I think there's a greater likelihood that price is going to try to break this sell zone at the top. But if it doesn't, this will be our first target, the low of the sell zone, $44.62. That's 5.91% there. Our second target would be $45.31, 7.5% there. And then our third target will be all the way up here towards 48, which is 13.72%, which takes us to that sell zone that Brandt is talking about. He has his price target. So we'll just see. But give me your thoughts. Make sure you maintain the profitability. And as always, trade different.